Hello, and thank you for joining me. Today, we are returning to Fallout 76, but instead of spending 1,000 script at the Purveyor, we're going to be going on ahead and crafting up some Secret Service armor for my commando here. As you likely already know, the Secret Service armor is always crafted as legendary, but it doesn't use the same legendary crafting system with the legendary cores as most other items. So I'll be doing this a little bit differently. I'll basically craft up 5 pieces of armor, and then we'll take a look and see what we got. I'm not going to go into as much detail with the armor pieces as I do with the weapon purveyor videos, but anything interesting I'll go ahead and call out, and I am specifically looking to increase the number of unyielding AP regen pieces that I have. I currently have 2 and 2 unyielding poison, or 3 unyielding poison resistance pieces. I'm hoping to be able to replace 2 of the poison resistance pieces with unyielding AP regen pieces. So anyway, here I am in my mad scientist laboratory, so let's go on ahead and get started. And it's worth noting that I do have the armorer perk on so that the material requirements for crafting the armor is less than what it otherwise would be. So let's go on ahead and see which one of these I am going to start with. I'm going to start with the left leg. That is the worst piece of Secret Service armor that I currently have. So let's go on ahead and craft up some left legs. And let's see, life-saving with poison resistance and fall damage, 1-star troubleshooters, 2-star troubleshooters with perception, 1-star unyielding. Well, this one is actually better. It's unyielding poison resistance and weapon weight reduced by 20%, which I'd rather have over junk weight reduced by 20%. If that was AP regen as a 2nd star, this would be a perfect piece. Unfortunately, it's not really what I'm looking for, so let's go on ahead and keep crafting. Two, 3, 4, and 5. And here we got Chameleon with radiation resistance. If I was full health, that would be a good piece, but I'm not, so here we have Ghoul Slayers with less damage from explosions and weapon weight reduction. I really do like the weapon weight reduction 3rd star. The Slayer's effects on armor are kind of interesting. If you are looking to increase your protection, you can actually put 1 piece of each of the Slayer's effects on and get 15% damage reduction from everything. And that's an interesting way to look at it. I'm actually toying with the idea of doing a shotgunner who does that. But anyway, just thought I'd call that out. Mutant Slayer, Secret Service, that's another one of the Slayers. +1 strength and 5% chance to deal 100 fire damage to melee attackers. I don't really like that 3rd star, but +1 strength isn't bad, but again, not really what I'm looking for, and neither is mutants. Overeaters with intelligence and increasing the size of sweet spot while picking locks. So the Overeaters is actually one of the best effects, just because if you've got your health and or hunger and thirst meters at 100% full, then each one of those is going to give you 3% damage reduction for a total of 6% damage reduction per piece for a total of 30% if you have a full set. So that is very powerful. If you're a bloodied build, you're probably still going to be wanting to do unyielding armor instead, so let's keep on rolling here. And here we got unyielding with fire resistance and a 5% chance to deal poison damage to melee attackers. I'm not really a fan of any of the 5% chance to deal damage to melee attackers effects, but the fire resistance is kind of interesting. For the most part, Fireproof, the non-legendary perk, does just fine and handles all of that without problem, although they have buffed the explosions of the explosive enemies in daily ops, so I'm curious if the fire resistance would help with that or not. I haven't really tried that out, but again, this is really not what I'm looking for, so we're going to go on ahead and move on to the next one. No, we're not. We're not doing that. We are crafting. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I do 5 at a time just because it's so inefficient to go through and look at them every single time. So anyway, let's see here. So we got an aristocrats. That one, I don't like aristocrats in armor as much as I do in weapons because it's just adding energy and damage resistance, which, if you're aware, once you get over about 300 to 400 damage resistance, and the same applies for energy resistance, you start seeing significantly diminishing returns. So you're better off with either combining Slayer's effects or using Overeaters or something to get the percentage damage reduction, which is much more powerful. Let's see, you already have the Ghoul Slayers, 1-star Hunters. That's unexciting unless you want to, combine 5 pieces of the Slayer's effects. But even then, a 1-star is still not that exciting. Let's see here. Life-saving is kind of interesting. If you want extra damage, you can use, I don't remember the name of the perk, but there's a perk that gives you extra damage when you are revived by another player. When the life-saving effect on armor piece revives you, it triggers that. So you can get some extra damage that way. It feels, and if you've got 5 pieces, you've got a very, very good chance of being revived when you go down. But still, not really what I'm looking for here. So let's keep looking at what we've got. Regenerating. I'm really not a fan of the regenerating effect because it does not work in combat. If it worked in combat, it would be much better. But really, all it does is just eliminate the need for stim packs, which stim packs are so available and easily obtainable that there's just not really a need for that. Again, the 25 fire resistance, I'm curious about how effective that is. Junk item weights reduced by 20%. Well, I find it's best not to keep too much junk on me at once, so that's why I'm not a big fan of that 3rd star. Let's see here. And a 1-star Vanguards. So, nothing interesting here. I think I'm going to go dump these in my stash box real quick. That clears it up a little bit, and let's go on ahead and try it again. I'm hoping to get at least 1 piece of AP Regen Unyielding. I think I'll actually do 6 this time, just to bring it down to an even number, or, of 5 legendary modules there. And let's see here. We got a 3-star Aristocrats. It's loving that poison resistance today, and 5% chance to deal poison damage. Assassins, that, if you are interested in PvP, a full set of Assassins is probably the way to go. Although you're probably better off getting a full set of Assassin's power armor, because that will make you very, very tanky. But if you prefer not to be in power armor, but you do want to engage in PvP, then Assassins is the effect you're probably going to want on your armor. Let's see here. Cloaking. I really don't see much point in cloaking because by the time they're hitting you, you're already out of stealth, generally speaking. So I would much rather rely on... oh, I can't think of the name of the perk. Escape Artist, to be able to get myself out of trouble in that situation. But, to each their own, but I really don't think the cloaking effect is very good. Another 1-star Hunters, yay. 2-star Troubleshooters with agility, not the worst, but still not what I'm looking for. Zealots with intelligence and more chance to deal damage to melee attackers. So still not what I'm looking for. Let's go on ahead and try this again. And if any of you have actually tried to craft up a very specific set of armor or weapon or something with specific legendary effects, you know that this is pretty much the way it goes. You just keep trying until RNG finally decides to bless you and give you what you want. Fortunately, we've got quite a few tries here, so... let's see here. And we got Got Assassins with AP Regen. That would actually be a very good piece, and reduces limb damage by 15%. That is probably a very good piece for PvP. I'm not really much of a PvP player, but I might consider keeping that around just because. But still not what I'm looking for here. Cloaking, more cloaking, reduces damage while blocking by 15%. +1 luck is good if you're a VATS build for getting your criticals a little bit more frequently, but still not exciting. The cryo resistance on armor is actually interesting. I've never really felt the need to have cryo resistance the way I do feel the need to have one piece of poison resistance, because I don't want to use one of my legendary slots for poison resistance. But this legendary effect is pretty much the only way in the game that you can get cryo resistance on your armors, or on at all, so it's pretty good, and potentially another Ghoul Slayers, Hunters, life saving, ammo weight reduction is also pretty good, and no unyielding at all in that run. Let's try this again. Alright, let's see here. Looks like we got another Assassin's piece. This time it looks like it's the +1 intelligence piece. So, yeah. That's actually a very good chameleon piece right there. I might actually go on ahead and hold on to that piece, just because I will probably do some playing around with full health on this character. So when you're full health build and you're doing stealth, the chameleon armor is very, very helpful for helping you stay in stealth, and a full set is even more effective than a single piece. So just something to keep in mind there. Lots of cloaking here. I really don't care about any of that. Bad piece of overeaters. Here's an interesting piece, weightless. It's not really, this one's not particularly good, but if you have the chameleon mutation, then the weightless armor should allow you to basically become invisible whenever you're standing still with the chameleon mutation. Honestly, I think you're better off with the chameleon armor, but to each their own. One thing to be aware of is that when you're firing while you're still holding still with chameleon, chameleon armor, you don't become visible. But you do with the chameleon mutation. So that's why I think it's better. But anyway, let's go on ahead and try another set. Alright, let's see. We got an auto stim. That one's actually kind of interesting, although I don't know that I'd ever really want a full set of auto stim armor, because every time it triggered, you would end up using 5 stim packs. You probably would find yourself running low on stim packs pretty quickly that way. At least depending on how often you get hit and that sort of thing. But a single piece could be pretty useful depending on your build and, whether you like having stim packs automatically used or not. Let's see here. Oh, looks like we got another Hunters. This one was +1 agility, so not really exciting. It's getting hard to tell which ones are the new ones. But no unyielding, so let's go dump these in the stash box. I'm going to have script for days here. That's for sure. Alright, let's keep going. And we got Exterminators, one of the worst effects, but, if you're looking to have 15% damage resistance to everything like I talked about earlier, It's decent. It will protect you against like Mirelurk Queens, things like that. So, also of note, I believe crickets are affected by this. So, crickets are nasty little buggers. Let's see here. See, this one is interesting for the 3rd star. Slowly regen radiation damage while not in combat. That is a good effect if you're full health, and you absolutely cannot use that armor if you're a low health build. So, yeah. Let's see. Another mutants with cryo resistance and breaking 50% slower. Regenerating with sentinels, which is 75% chance to reduce damage by 15% while standing still. The sentinels effect is very good, but it's important to, and it does stack with, so if you have multiple pieces, each one of those pieces will have their own 75% chance to reduce the damage by 15%, and they could conceivably all trigger. It's worth noting that you have to be standing up. You cannot be crouched in stealth for this to work. Troubleshooters with radiation resistance and breaking slower, and still no unyielding. Let's try it again. Let's see. More assassins. They're loving the assassins today. Bolstering 1 star. I really don't see the point of bolstering, to be honest. If you're going low health, you're just better off with unyielding. I mean, maybe if you're a power armor user where you can't get unyielding, then bolstering might be okay, but I still think you'd be better off with damage percentage reductions, either from mixing the Slayer's effects or just going Overeaters or something. Let's see, Exterminators, 1 star, I think was old. Ghoul Slayers with intelligence and the ability to breathe underwater. Let's see, Mutant Slayers, yeah, we already had those. Regenerating, we had that one. And we got Unyielding, but +1 Perception, so still not what I'm looking for. So let's try it again. Getting low on plastic here. I did a quick run before this video, and so that's pretty much what I've got for the moment. If I run out of materials, then that's going to be the end of the video, unfortunately, and I suspect that's the direction we are heading here. And here we got Vanguards with agility, and Stimpaks and Rataways are 5% more effective. Not sure which of... Oh, the Overeaters, 1 star is new. One of these Mutant Slayers is new. The Mutant Slayers is one of the better effects just because, much like the weapons, there are frequently times when you're going to be fighting super mutants, so having a set dedicated to that, or at least a piece on your set dedicated to that, is not such a bad thing. Let's see, Hunters from animals, not really exciting unless you're doing the mix and match Slayer's effect. Life-saving, yeah. Well, this is the last round, so let's see if I can get what I'm looking for or not. I have a feeling the answer is going to be no. That's it. Let's see here. We're just going to go straight down and see. No, we did not. That is unfortunate. I did, however, improve the piece I have, at least, because it's exactly the same, that one unyielding piece with the weapon weight reduction instead of junk weight reduction. So I will switch that piece out, but unfortunately this has really been rather disappointing. We crafted up somewhere around 50 or so pieces and did not get a single unyielding AP regen. Well, I'll be trying this again in the near future, so hopefully we'll have better luck next time, and I hope you'll tune in with me then. And please remember, if you enjoy content like this, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. It really helps the channel out, and it doesn't cost you anything. Alright, well, until next time, thanks for joining me.